My name's Chris Mullin. I was the MP for Sunderland South for 23 years. I started keeping a diary on May the 12th, 1994, which was the night John Smith died. And I stopped keeping a diary on May the 9th, 2010, which was the day that Gordon Brown walked out of number 10 Downing Street. So there are 3 volumes, and they will cover the entire rise and fall of New Labour. The 2 which have been turned into a play are the middle one, which is called A View from the Foothills, and the final one, which is called Decline and Fall. But the overall title of the play is A Walk on Park, which is going to be the title of the new volume, which will be, and the final volume, which will be published in September. When this began, I had no idea how you would set about reducing 2 volumes to one 2-hour play, but Michael has done a brilliant job.
In the end, I thought, well, there's only one way to go on with it, and that is to sort of work very hard at it. And what I actually did was I had the diaries put onto a computer disk, so I had it all on my screen, and I just went through them time and time again over a period of about 2 weeks, rereading and rereading. But as I read, I took things out, which things that might have been interesting in their own right, but for better or worse, kind of felt that they were things that a dramatization could leave out. And this process of gradually whittling the material down eventually brought the 1,000 pages down to about 300 pages. And I just went on from there. Now, obviously, there were themes that I knew were going to be important from the beginning, and so I was consciously, like a bloodhound, looking for material that shone a light onto those events. And obviously, the things that happened in that period, like 9/11, like the Iraq War, and the debates that led up to that hugely important event, the collapse of trust in the parliamentary democracy, the expenses scandal, the financial crash, all of these external events I was interested in those, so I was looking for material that might shine a light on those. But also I was very conscious of, Chris's constituency life and the lives of the people of his constituency, and also Chris's family life, because I wanted to show people, I suppose, and this is something that comes through very strongly in the diaries, that MPs, okay, they're politicians, but they are real people too. And I think in all of the bad publicity surrounding the expenses scandal and so on, people have got this idea that all politics is bad, and and all politicians are only looking out for themselves. And I've never believed that for one moment. But I was looking for these big themes and big events, and gradually, so just the pages started falling away, and I ended up with what we're playing, which is just a very rapid, but hopefully entertaining and true account in some levels, although obviously we've left out a great deal of the 11 years of the diaries.
No, it never occurred to me that there was a stage play in them. In fact, when Michael Chaplin and Max Roberts approached me, first of all, I thought, well, yes, I'm happy for you to have a go, but I wasn't optimistic that it would turn out well. But today I've seen the first hour in rehearsal, and it's brilliant. Brilliant. They've got a chap playing me called John Hodgkinson, who's had to remember an enormous amount of script. He's done it brilliantly. And they've got 5 actors altogether playing 98 parts. And they're really a good team, and I feel really enthusiastic and optimistic about it.
We were confident from the beginning that we had something that would play well, and then the cast, I think, are just great. They have great energy and subtlety at the same time. I think they're very talented, and they have to be, because they have an awful lot to do. John Hodgkinson in particular is an amazing performance, I think, in the making. He's good now, but gosh, what's he going to be like when we open next week? It's very exciting, actually. It's always great fun just before a play comes to fruition. But I'm looking forward to seeing it. you know, this is not a piece of fiction. The events in the drama all happened. It's just a sort of snapshot of them. It's and it shows a hard-working politician's life. You know, whizzing backwards and forwards to London, going around the world, dealing with constituency issues, sometimes very sad ones, and having a family life at the same time. I think that's what I set out to achieve. I don't know about the reality of it.
Well, yes, I mean, politicians haven't had a very good press of late, though, so all I've done in my diaries is try to set out my life as it was, and to observe some of the things actually that most people don't. It's not a defence of politicians. Indeed, there's quite a lot in there that you might encourage the view that politicians, or some of them, are not that admirable. But it's just an attempt to reflect life as it is, really. There's all sorts of themes there, from big ones to small ones.